UBC, inspiring Uganda.
The Journey program on UBC TV.
Hi, my name is Frank Gashumba. I'm the chairman in my group of companies, vice chairperson PLU Central Region, co-founder Council for Abavandimwe, co-founder Simuka Uganda. But I prefer to be called a leader without a title, because the people that inspire me a lot had no titles. People like Jesus Christ, Nabi Muhammad, Luther King, Gandhi, even Nelson Mandela had no title. So I prefer to be called a leader without a title. Frank Gashumba, I was born and raised in Villa Maria, Masaka district, where civilization started from. I went through a community primary school called St. Francis Villa Maria Primary School. That's my primary. I did my O and A level from Aga Khan Masaka Senior Secondary School, then to Nkumba. That's it. Sisemuka Uganda, we founded it after realizing Ugandans would no longer separate their individual responsibilities and their personal responsibilities. Ugandans think that it's President Museveni that must come to their homes to tell their kids to do homework. In Masaka, where I was raised from, we used to have what was called those community engagements, where every end of the month, we are involved in community activities. So Sisemuka Uganda, we started it to remind Ugandans of their individual responsibilities and the responsibilities of government. Taking care of your children, pay their school fees, look after them. No government, no president will ever do that for you. It has to be you. Sisemuka, it's a Luganda word saying wake up. Actually, the official name for organization is called National Action for Awakening Uganda. National Action for Awakening Uganda. Basically, we are wakening up Ugandans to take a role in their individual lives, changing mindsets, creating self-belief, transforming lives and communities. The moment you transform individual lives, you are transforming lives of a community. And the moment a community is transformed, a country will be transformed too. The achievements are many, are countless. Between 2013 to 2023, I don't know how many activities we've carried out. We go to schools, we mainly focus from senior 1 to senior 6 and universities, telling these young boys and young girls that there is life after school, that the lives you read at school is totally the opposite of what happens after school. And we actually encourage them to be street smart than being school smart, because at the end of the day, even if you spent 30 years in school, one day we'll get out of that school. So we'll prepare them for the world. We tell them the importance of having trees, the importance of the environment. Those trees you see they don't like us. Actually, it's we the individuals that benefit from these trees. So we teach them the importance of the environment in Uganda. We teach students their individual responsibilities. The moment citizens get to know their individual responsibilities, trust me, everything changes. Challenges are many, are countless, but what makes us men is the ability to maneuver through challenges. One of them is funding. Sisemuka Uganda is a local civic organization. We are not funded by anyone. The funds we use to move across the country are from a few friends who feel we are doing a great work for this country. You cannot stop people from judging you. What is very crucial to you is you yourself. You know yourself. You get it. Personally, I believe if leaders cannot perform the way they are expected, we must expose them. I don't believe in stoning leaders. It's very important. When I see an injustice committed to one of us, it's an injustice committed to me. If I walk into URA and I see something wrong, I have an obligation to speak out. If I walk into immigration and I see something terrible, I have to speak out. The same, if I see Parliament doing the opposite, I must do the same. If I go to CPS or police headquarters and police officers are not doing what they are supposed to do, I must speak out. There's a young girl who was denied a passport, or a young lady. When she was denied a passport, I went to the immigration and I was tossed around. The State Minister for Internal Affairs ordered for that young girl to be issued a passport. And these junior officers tossed us around for the entire day. So I exposed them on radio. After exposing them, they said Gashumba has insulted us. But people challenge President Museveni day in and day out. You get it? If you are not willing to serve Ugandans, simply resign. There are many Ugandans who are willing to take up such jobs. And as long as we pay you, it's me who pays them. It's my taxes that pay those people. We must put them to scrutiny. Banyarwanda born in Uganda, you know, the framers of the 1995 constitution had a brilliant idea of having Banyarwanda inserted in our constitution because we've existed in Uganda before even the country called Uganda. But I think there was a mistake. There's a professor who told me it's called the nomenclature. You have a brilliant idea, but the name you give it. You get it? Having Banyarwanda in the constitution of Uganda and there's a country called Rwanda, it's very confusing. The moment you say you're Munyarwanda, what automatically comes into someone's mind that you're a Rwandan nation. And we are not Rwandans, we are Ugandans. So we said, you know what, the Bafumbira did that. But you know Bafumbira also Banyarwanda. What they did, they found a new name called Bafumbira. And now they comfortably live in Uganda. And Ugandans look at them like any other tribe. But when you say you're Munyarwanda, Ugandans say your president is President Paul Kagame, which is wrong. I disagree with President Museveni on many things, but he's my president. So we said, what do we do? One of us came up with an idea that we must rebrand. But the biggest challenge was, what name are we using? So we did ask ourselves, which word can you use? And the Munyarwanda will respond, it's Abavandimu. Abavandimu, it means brethren. That's when we came up with that idea. I think 72% of Banyarwanda in Uganda bought that idea. But there is a small group, the conservatives, the old citizens, who fought it day in, day out. Because you cannot say you're Ugandan and there's a country called Rwanda. I've not met a Ugandan who is called Muna Congo, or Muna Tanzania, or Muna Kenya. How come Gashumba is a Munyarwanda and there's a country called Rwanda? By the way, the Rwandan ambassador to Uganda is also a Munyarwanda. And someone you're interviewing now is also a Munyarwanda. It's very confusing. So we came up with that idea that if we adopt it, 30 years from today, our grandchildren will be called Abavandimwe. Meaning their age mates, they will grow up knowing that this is my friend called, let's say, Sonia or Linda, but she's a Muvandimwe. We are bringing in solutions. Leaders must look for solutions. You get it? The advantage is, if we became Abavandimwe tomorrow, none of us will lose his name. None of us will lose his culture. Bafumbira Banyarwanda too. So when Bafumbira we are created, nobody said that we are dividing Banyarwanda or Ugandans. Banyarwanda, sorry, Bafumbira comfortably live in Uganda, and Ugandans appreciate them to be Ugandans. But up to today, there is a big section of Ugandans who don't separate a country called Rwanda and a tribe called Banyarwanda. Not everything must be done by government. It's important for the Banyarwanda to know why we are doing this, why it's the best option. You get it? Leaders have an obligation to shape the next destination. Leaders have an obligation to find ways of finding solutions. You get it? My grandparents migrated from Rwanda in 1922. My father was born in Masaka in 1938. My mother was born in Masaka in 1944. My mother loves Rwanda. She loves President Kagame, but she says she's not a Rwandan. She's a Ugandan 100%. Me too, I love President Kagame so much. I love Rwanda so much, but I'm not a Rwandan. I'm a Ugandan. And every time I go to Rwanda, they call me a Mugande. You get it? So we must find solutions. So it was not created to divide Ugandans. No way. The question would be, why Abavandimwe? Banyarwanda are being denied passports day in and day out. And the only crime they committed is that they are Rwandans. So it was very important that 30 years from today, we could separate Banyarwanda and the citizens of Rwanda called Rwandans. You get it? Let me give you an example. The Kenyan High Commission to Uganda, he's a Kenyan. The Tanzanian High Commissioner to Uganda, he's a Tanzanian, right? And the Rwandan ambassador to Uganda is a Munyarwanda. And Gashumba too here is a Munyarwanda. How do you separate them? We wanted that Banyarwanda born in Uganda are called Abavandimwe. Banyarwanda born in Rwanda should remain Rwandans. You get it? For example, if they had inserted in Tutsis or Hutus, it would be the best. because these are cross-border tribes. The way you see Bagisu and Bakusu, the way you see Basami, the way you see Bakonjo and Abanandi. You get it? The way you see Bahangaza in Tanzania, those are Banyarwanda in Tanzania. They are called Bahangaza. There is no tribe in Tanzania called Banyarwanda. There's a tribe called Bahangaza. The way you see Banyamulenge in Congo, you see, these are Tutsis in Congo, but they are called Abanyamulenge. And for them, they are saying they love Rwanda, they support President Kagame, but they are not Rwandans. You get it? So we were looking for solutions. Unfortunately, a small faction of Banyarwanda mistook our idea. And trust me, no, even if it's not tomorrow, one day Banyarwanda will say, you know what? The Gashumba has had a brilliant idea. The person is seated in front of you. I'm the mind behind Jaja Tova Kumain. There's a lady called Hadija Namiaro. She contacted me because she knew I fell out with NRM. Said, Gashumba, I know you as a very creative man. The president has appointed me to head office of the national chairman. What I need from you, I need a slogan that will invite the youth to join NRM. I said, I'm here purely for business, and we agreed. I'm coming up with an idea, but I need a swap deal to do the branding of office of the national chairman. I consulted my brother, who is also very good. We came up with an idea called Omalako Jaja Tova Kumain. I worked with Namiaro for like 7 months. Everything was going on well. Then she started giving away my business to other people. That's where the problem started from. But I take it from me, it's me. I'm the father, the mother, the DNA. I have each and every document to prove that. Actually, we are in court. But purely, I went to that office as a businessman because I belong to PLU. I happen to be a founder member for PLU. PLU started from different units. I belonged to MK Army. From MK Army, our chairman, our supreme leader, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, in his wisdom, he decided to merge all units. MK Army, team chairman, Avengers, Revolutionary Guards, and the rest. He formed the MK movement. After MK movement, in his wisdom, he decided we form PLU. So I'm a founder member for PLU, and currently I'm the national vice chairperson, PLU Central Region. There's the chairman himself, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba. There is the national vice chairperson, Toyota Nwagira. There's the general secretary, Daudi Kabanda. There is director legal affairs, Mr. Edwin Kalugire. There is Cedric Ndirima Babu, vice chairperson, Central Region. There's Lilian Abba, vice chairperson, Northern Uganda. There's Dr. Baram, vice chairperson, Western Region. There is Kenneth Katonji. Katonji is Director External Services or External Affairs. There is Andrew Mwenda, Director Media and the rest. There is Mawanda, Director Mobilization. And Frank Gashumba, I'm the Vice Chairperson Central Region. That's the top level of PLU. I still belong to PLU, and I'm going to support General MK till he's sworn in as the President of Uganda. Currently, it's like a civic organization. But at the end of the day, my happiest day is to see MK taking over. Because you've seen what has been happening in Africa. My happiest day is to see the smooth transition of power. And Muhoozi is not taking over the words I see on the social media as if Muhoozi is taking over from his father. Yes, but he's going to go through the scrutiny. If Muhoozi currently cannot stand for the presidency because he's a serving military officer, but the moment he's retired, he'll go to Kololo, we are going to nominate him, traverse the entire country to solicit for votes. The moment Ugandans vote for him, he will swear in as the next president of Uganda. So what's wrong with it? But Muhoozi, first, he must be retired from the military. After he's retired from the military, he must go to Kololo or Chambogo to be nominated. After nomination, Gashumba and the team must traverse the entire country to convince Ugandans that Muhoozi has all the qualifications to become the president of Uganda. The moment he's voted in as the president of Uganda, we'll go to Korora and swear in. That's it. Honestly, my internal calling is not in politics. I don't think I can ever stand for elective politics because I don't think I can manage voters. I don't think so. If I'm appointed in a political office, I can serve it or in it. But to go to peasants and solicit for votes, I don't see that in me. Because I'm too frank. And a politician, you must be a serial liar. You get it? I don't think I can tell people lies. My A is A, B is B, that's it. And I'm comfortable where I am. By the way, the people I admire so much in Uganda, can I name them for you? Gordon Wavamuno, Sudiri Pareria. Nobody hires them and nobody can fire them. Where I am here, you can't fire me. I'm the president, the CEO, the chairman of my group of companies. Nobody can fire me. The people I admire so much, Sir Gordon Wavamuno, Sudiri Pareria, those are the people I look at. But peasants every day, no. We must tell the government this is wrong, this is right. But don't turn these protests into political ones. The moment you start wearing party colors, you've lost it. You've lost it. Because the moment you put on NUP, FDC, anti, NRM party colors, you've lost it. Because I don't belong to all of those. But I believe we must expose these vampires that have successfully looted this country. But the moment you put on party colors, for example, if you put on NUP, you are turning away NRM who are willing to support you. When you put on yellow, you are turning away NUP supporters. When you put on blue, you are turning away UPC supporters. We don't want the president to speak about corruption. We want him to act. Period. We want him to act. Someone is caught stealing taxpayers' money. Let that person serve a life sentence in prison. Confiscate each and everything of his. It will send a clear message to potential thieves. In Uganda, actually, there is no corruption in Uganda. There is autocracy. People have rooted this country beyond repair. When I hear you guys call it corruption, I wonder. It's like sanitizing. There is no corruption in Uganda. There is autocracy. You had recently MPs who would sit privately and inflate 20% in the budget, meaning over 11 trillion was inflated in our budget. So we want President Museveni to act on thieves. It was overdue. It was overdue because people started settling in those wetlands. It was President Museveni in governance. Nansana, I remember we had an aunt living in Nansana. I remember the early 1990s, we'd go to Nansana. That Rubiji swamp, it was full of, it was a swamp. You get it? But now I hear some Ugandans saying that they have lived in Rubiji for the last 62 years. That's a lie. That's a lie. In 1990, that thing was full. It was a typical African swamp. But now Uganda has encroached on it. So, chasing them away from those swamps, I support the government. There's a reason why God created those swamps. You get it? There is a reason why God created them. Now let me ask you also, can anyone put up a house in swamps in Kampala now on what they are seeing? Sometimes government must walk the talk. You get it? So I support the government. And for you Ugandans watching me now, please don't ever dare. Why would you put up a house in a swamp? Because it will be near Kampala? No. To the youth watching me now, nobody will write your destiny. It has to be you. No government will write your destiny. The government will just put up an infrastructure to help you. You must work 24 hours to live a good life. Don't ever dare think the government to Yambe. Are you related to them? If you're not related to them, simple. Wake up every morning, hustle. Don't despise jobs. The people you admire so much did those terrible dirty jobs that you despise now. Wavamuno was a truck driver. Sudiri Pareria was a taxi driver. You know what I mean? And they're multi-billionaires now. So to you, the youth, don't despise jobs. I don't tell you what you want to hear. I'll tell you what you don't want to hear, but it's the right information. Nobody cares about you. These are facts. These are facts. If you want the truth, ask Gashumba. If you want to be told lies, ask another person. Uganda belongs to all of us. We should stop looking at ourselves based on where we hail from. We are all Ugandans. We may have disagreements, but we must make sure that we don't destroy a country called Uganda. You know what happened in Libya, what's in Syria, what's in Sudan, Egypt. No matter the disagreements we may have, let's preserve a country called Uganda. And you can love Uganda and hate a government in place. I can support anyone who hates NRM, but don't destroy a country called Uganda. Don't hate Uganda. Carry our flag. That's it. Let me ask you something, and I want to be on record. If Ruto resigns today, who will take over? The vice president. If the vice president fails, who will take over the military? The way it is in Egypt. Let me repeat it again. If Ruto resigns today, the constitution is very clear. The vice president will take over. If the vice president fails, who will take over? The military. Then the military will be in charge. You get it? We must find a way of solving problems. And I don't believe in these Bazungus bringing their ideas to us. They took their ideas to Libya. What's in Libya? They destroyed Iraq. You get it? They destroyed Iraq. Sudan is the same. Africans, we must wake up and find home-based solutions to our problems. We may have disagreements, which is normal. We can fight, but let's find home-based solutions to our problems. For example, for me, I don't believe in elections. If I had an opportunity, I would close that parliament for 20 years. Because Ugandans don't care who is the speaker, who is the president, who is the chief justice. They want social services, hospitals, roads, schools. 21st century, 40 years of NRM, 62 years of independence. Our kids up country still fetch water from how they call them. For example, I visited Gomba. The same ponds where cows drink water from, they are the same ponds our children fetch water from. Are we leaders? Those are the solutions we must come up with. How do we bring water to each and every homestead? How do we make sure that every school has electricity? How do we make sure that a young boy from Gomba can compete with a young boy at King's College Buddo? That's the Uganda that raised me, because it was easy to go through a community school called St. Francis Villa Maria Primary School and make it. Now it's becoming practically impossible for a younger boy to hail from Kinkizi or from Bundi Buju and make it. It's like now Uganda is a preserve for schools in Kampala. That's the Uganda I dream to live in. Of course, those who deeply like what I do, they follow me on Twitter, Frank Gashumba, Instagram, Frank Gashumba, TikTok, Frank Gashumba, Facebook, Frank Gashumba. That's it. Those who feel we have a common vision for this country called Uganda.